Hey guys.
Oh shit. Okay.
Hey guys, welcome back to No Offers. If you follow me on my social media, I recently posted Ask Me Questions. You guys asked me a couple questions, a couple fun ones, a couple serious ones too. And one of the questions that stood out to me is, what is something that's socially acceptable that you dislike, right?
Okay.
And I think the number one thing that came to mind first, even though there probably could be a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
But the thing that came to mind first is going into debt. I think it's socially acceptable for people to go into debt.
Like it's so common now that it's like whatever.
Yeah, it's something that's common, and it's also something that if you tell someone, they wouldn't really worry about it. You know?
They take it more like as a joke, like, oh, me too.
Yeah, either me too or oh okay. Like I feel like nowadays, especially in America, it's seen as something like a passage that people go to, you know? For example, just yesterday, maybe in 2 weeks for you guys, or in a week,
Or in a month.
or in a month, the student loans were said that they're not going to be forgiven.
That's true. That's true.
This was something I saw coming already, but I just think it's crazy how that's even a thing, you know?
Yeah.
Like, of course, we do know that student loans are hindering the growth of these college graduates, right? And there's a lot of if and buts. Should we, help them with the student loans? Should we not? But I think the main root is the student loans, Like, it's crazy that you're going to give someone and you're gonna tell someone it's okay to go into debt, And I just think that's not the way things should be. But of course, I don't blame the student. I don't even blame the people offering the loans for students to actually do it. It's just, things are getting more expensive nowadays.
They are.
Colleges, especially, like if you look at what things costed back in the day to what things costed now, and inflation, like you see a gradual increase of items and things we buy, right?
Yeah.
But college education is one of those things where it didn't gradually go like this, like at a 170, 160 angle. It was, it went like at 115 degree angle, And I just think that's crazy. Something that a lot of people are promoting now are things like Coursera that we're talking about off camera.
Coursera,
it's like $50 a month. You could get certified. You could make a good salary from like 60, 70, 80, even more K a year of US dollars. And, and that's just one thing, student debt is just one thing.
Yeah.
Then the US just released saying that we have consumer debt too, The average American's credit card debt rose as well.
It did.
Honestly did. And then there's card debt. Don't even get me started with card debt, That's the number one thing I advocate against with, friends of mine. Because I feel like we're at the age where everyone wants a new car. Everyone wants to get that new car, and I think it's fine. It's honestly, I don't think it's bad for a lot of people, just because in the U.S. we do need a good credit score to do things. And dude, I even told some of my friends, I'm like, hey guys, I don't think you should go into debt for that car. But on the bright side, once you finish paying it off, you're gonna have a better credit score than me, and I'm over here, always checking my credit score weekly, trying to get that up, So just give and takes, but maybe focus on one debt at a time.
Yeah, because once they accumulate, like it's hard. Like, oh hell no, you feel like you won't have enough para la semana para comer, bro.
Yeah.
So.
And that's the thing. Like, if you're already paying off all these things that you owe, and no tienes para comer en la semana, what are you gonna do? You're just gonna stack it more on the credit card even more. So I feel like that's what comes to mind. Where I'm not here to say what a solution is.
Yeah.
Even though we could talk about that in a later video, But just to answer my boy's question, something that's socially acceptable that I don't think should be
acceptable. Really.
Is debt.
Makes sense though. Yeah. Makes sense. I don't like being in debt. I feel like it's like when a friend lets me borrow money, I'll pay it like right away, like as soon as I have it, you know, because I'd rather like get rid of that debt rather than like, you know, you have bad record. Yeah. Like they won't want to let you borrow money ever again after that, so it's better to, you know, just get rid of it as soon as you can.
Is there something that you think society agrees with that you may not agree with?
I feel like I don't, maybe I guess like how much like drugs are being something more common. Like before, like if you would hear like the word weed or like whatever, you know, they'd be like, oh no, that's bad, you know. But like now it's becoming more common. Like there's even stores like close by.
Yeah, that's something I always talk to with my brother. I'm like, I don't really think we should have smoke shops or these dispensaries so close to maybe like schools, like elementary schools, things like that.
Dude, yes.
You know, of course, you know, these kids are not the ones going there, but you know, it's still what's being shown to them on their daily walks, especially in the community that we live in. I feel like it's something that kids see every day now. But yeah, like I said, you know, there's a lot of things. There would be a lot of good reasons why countries would, I guess, legalize drugs. There could be a lot of actually good benefit from the legalization of stuff. You know, there won't have to be, you know, any more crime in certain areas and things like that. But yeah, thinking about it, it is crazy how common it is now. You know, one of the things that I think especially from, if you speak to people like in Mexico, like it's still 1,000 times more taboo there. Than it is here.
It really is.
You know,
like obviously we're not against like people who like are into that stuff, like to each their own, you know, but in our opinion, it's just like kids, like you said, they're seeing this as they walk to school. Smoke shops closer to them, so it's like they're gonna grow up thinking it's okay, you know.
Yeah, it's the norm. It's gonna be I think especially for us, because when we were little kids, that wasn't seen. So to us, it's not the norm. It was a gradual change. But for them, it's the norm growing up, you know? And yeah, like because we grew up that not being the norm, it really makes me like being like, oh wow, that has changed. Like one of the things that I like told my parents how crazy it was is that in New York, like in Times Square, you know how in LA at the end of a concert, at the end of an event, there's a lot of people right there selling the hot dogs.
Yeah.
The little trays. Like over there in Times Square, you just walk around and you see people with their trays and stuff. But it's not hot dogs. It's like weed.
Oh,
stuff
shit.
like that. And I'm like, damn, it's very unique. Like I've never seen that before in my life. You know, coming from like a Cali person.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can see why that's something that, you know, it's very normalized now in society that you don't agree with.
And I feel like as time passes, like it'll just become even more normalized. And like the kids that we're talking about now, it's gonna be a totally normal thing for them.
Yeah.
They won't see that change that we saw growing up. Like, remember in school when they would do those events to say no to drug events?
Was that our time?
I think so.
Okay.
Like, I remember, like,
it might have been very early, huh? Oh, really? I think I only remember that, like, maybe early elementary.
Or, like, very early elementary, yeah.
Yeah, it was a whole campaign, huh?
Pretty much.
That's amazing, yeah.
I wonder if they still do it.
I think they should, or at least I think they still do it.
Or maybe just not as much as they used to do it.
Yeah. Okay, now, let's see. What is something that's not a social norm that you think should be?
Living with your parents.
I honestly think that's okay, so you think it's a social norm, but you don't think it should be a social norm?
No, wait, I'm getting confused. It's. I think it's something that's not
A norm
socially acceptable to
that,
some, but it should be.
To be honest with you, girl, I think it's a social norm now.
Like it's normal living with your parents,
especially in LA with these home prices. Like, I see people that are old, like 30s, still living with their parents, and I can see why. You know.
Because you know how, like, even in movies, you would see like, oh, at 18, you're moving out.
Oh yeah. I feel like in the movie world, that's a big difference for sure. But in the real world, I don't see that.
Like, what am I gonna afford with $10 in my account, bro?
Yeah. So, no, you're right. So in movie logic, it is not a social norm.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. Very interesting.
Also, like, asking for age. I know there's people that get uncomfortable when they ask for their age when they're older. But for me, I don't really care. Like, if they ask me, I'll say my age, but I just feel like it's something that's barely starting to change. Like, before it wasn't really acceptable, especially when you would ask, like, an older person. They'll be like, mija, eso no se pregunta, you know?
Okay.
So I'm like, I feel like it's okay to ask for age.
Yeah, I feel like especially now, I'm seeing a lot of people who are in their late 30s, early 40s who look just as good as people in their late 20s.
Pretty much.
When 20, 30 years from now, that might have not been the case, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, well, maybe we're taking better care of ourselves. Maybe it's that we're actually talking about mental health now, that people are seeking help, and, you know, maybe that's helping them look less stressed, less older,
less like
they're looking younger.
You know?
Yeah, they're looking younger, and I'm like, okay, you know, maybe that's not a bad thing after all. If we talk about like these issues, you know, just speak your mind. It's never good to have things bottled up.
Yep.
But yeah, it's actually pretty good. I had one else, but I think I just forgot. Something that is socially normal. No, something that's not socially normal, but we think is, right?
But okay.
Right. I mean, I'm very glad that in society nowadays we're asking for help.
Yeah. Yeah, because a lot of, like, back then, people would keep to themselves a lot.
Oh, have you seen those TikToks where it's like, me being scared that if I get pregnant, me realizing that if I get pregnant, it'll no longer be a teen pregnancy because I'm 28?
Yeah.
Have you seen those?
Yes, I also seen how, like, I forgot how it goes, but basically saying you're still a teenager even though you're in your 20s or late 20s. Like, saying, oh, I shouldn't be. What did you say? Realizing that
it won't be a teen pregnancy if I get pregnant because I'm in my late 20s or something like that. I just think it comes down from the movies. That could be a whole nother episode, but I think movies ingrained to you like what would be a social norm, especially for us that we're like first generation. I feel like okay, our parents didn't have an American upbringing, right? They were raised in a different country, so now we come to the U.S. and our idea of a social norm is based off these movies.
Yeah.
But in these movies, you have 15-year-olds learning how to drive and going to house parties. You know what I mean? You have these college kids over here looking grown, getting their own house and stuff like that.
Dude, I don't know if it's just me, but let's say when you were like in 4th grade, didn't the 6th graders seem older? But when you were in 6th grade, it doesn't.
You were a little kid.
You're a little kid, like.
I remember being like 13, I was an adult.
We were just beginning. We're just starting.
We're still kids at that point. You're still a kid.
We're still teenagers, bro. What are you talking about?
Well, we just got more responsibilities. But yeah, guys, let us know if you guys have any other questions like this that makes us really want to think. That's why I answered. I'm going to give a shout out to my boy Jeremy. This was a really good question that you asked, man. I'll definitely let you know when this video comes out so you can take a look. And I also like to get your opinion.
Yes.
Alright, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share with all your friends, and let us know what else you want to see.
And comment down below social norms that you think. Wait, how does it go?
social norms that you think that you don't agree with.
Yes, or the opposite as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Uh-huh.